Hi everyone, it's Petra and Nelvin again, and we are going to look at some folklore, maybe some creatures or beings that are popular or maybe known in Malaysian and Hungarian folklores.
Are you ready for the last one?
Yes. That is a long-maned horse. Heraldry. But it looks like his body is made out of the night sky. Is it like some kind of spirits that governs the sun?
Oh no.
No, because it's like fire.
So you are right, it's a horse.
Okay.
So the title, although it's written as one word, because that's the name of the main character, it's formed from three different words. So Fehir means white, Lo is horse, and Fia is the son of. So the son of the white horse. That's our main character. So the story goes that this very magical white horse breeds a human.
What?
A human boy is born to this powerful magical white horse, and it's breastfed for 7 years, and then it becomes very, very strong. And it's a longer story, so I'll try to speed it up.
Yeah.
So this very strong, powerful boy, when he becomes a man, he goes on a journey and he meets three different people. Like in Hungarian tales, it's usually the number 3. So everything happens 3 times and it's more and more difficult or severe as you go along. So he meets 3 people who fight him, but he wins all 3 times, and then they become friends, and they get tricked by the devil. Then they chase the devil down to the underworld. Then, obviously, then they defeat the devil, and they meet, a princess who is held hostage by a dragon. Then this son of the white horse fights the dragon, frees the princess, and the princess says, "Oh my god, I have 2 sisters and they both held hostage by other dragons who are the brothers of this dragon." And he defeats them all, obviously. And then he asks for the help of the 3 friends to bring them up to the living world from the underworld. But they cannot all fit into this transport lift that they built from trees and leaves and things. And he's left there. So the friends only freed the princesses, and he was left there, and the only way that he could go back to the world of the living was to he just tried to shelter himself and helped some birds who turned out to be baby griffins. And then the Papa Griffin was so grateful to this boy or man that he brought him back to the living. And then the guy went to look for his so-called friends who left him in the underworld. And it turned out that they married the princesses, became very rich, because the king, who was the father of the princesses, was very grateful that they brought the princesses back, and they were very rich. And the guy was obviously pissed off, and he fought them, and the 3 so-called friends died. And the king was like, "Oh yeah, there you are, you were the real hero who actually saved my daughters. Here's the most beautiful one of them all, and half of my kingdom." The end.
Oh, that escalated quickly.
I'm probably not doing justice to this story, because it was like a 20-minute thing I listened to. But this is a very well-known story, so it's the morale of the thing is that you should, you know, stay true to yourself. You should help people, and then they will help you, and at the end you will get your reward, which is the most beautiful of the three princesses and half a kingdom.
Of course.
As it normally is.
Yes. Yes.
So it's not really like folklore in a sense that you have in like Ireland or something.
Yes.
So it's not
But
as
it
like
is. It's a kind of folk story.
Yeah, it's like teaching you sort of like moral lessons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the next one, I'm not too sure about moral lessons. This is just an approximation of the real thing because I can't find like a picture.
A dragon.
Yes, it is.
It's a dragon. It's a Chinese-y looking dragon.
That's what most people will think, yes. So, I mean, of course, dragon is, there is a lot of like linking.
Is it a good dragon or a bad dragon?
What do you think?
I think it's a good dragon because it's blue.
Okay. Well, in Chinese lores, dragons generally are the controller or the kings of the water. We have well, I wouldn't say Chinese, I guess more like Taoist religious kind of lores. You have the dragons of the East Sea, South Sea, West Sea, and North Sea, and they govern the sea and they govern the rainfall of its region. Generally, they are godlike deities, so I mean they have their own temper and everything, but generally they are regarded as good. Of course, like every other population in the world, they're always good, bad among the good, so hard to say. But that is not the main story I'm telling today. I am talking about something called Naga Tasik Chini. So Tasik Chini is a name for a lake. Tasik means lake, Chini is the name. So Tasik Chini, and Naga is the Malay word for dragon. So this is the dragon of Lake Chini. There's I think a name for the dragon. It's called I think it's called Seri Gumong. That is the name of the dragon. And there are multiple variations to this story as usual. I guess when a folklore is passed by words of mouth, chances are there will be variations, you know? Yeah. So then the first variation is a very, very sad one, but it does have a very good moral of the story, at least for that time. So what happens is that it's about a group of people who are kind of, I wouldn't call them nomads, but they're like a tribes of people. And they found like a piece of forest where they started to just cut the trees down to build their little village. And then a witch-like person came, an old woman who was so angry at them and scolded at them and said, how can you just start cutting all these trees and taking all these lands without asking for the land's or the land spirit maybe permission? Yeah. So the old lady planted her staff on the ground and said, you do not move this or you will suffer. And then she disappeared.
But it did move it.
Well, yes and no. So what happened is a dog started barking at this staff or this rod, and one guy, not sure what was going in his mind, took a stone and started throwing the stone at the staff, and everyone around him started doing the same thing. So they just like
people.
But when they started putting this throwing the stone at the staff started bleeding. And the more people throwing stones, it started like just hemorrhaging, and then everyone got scared because it's like blood everywhere. So then they were like running, and then someone knocked over the staff. The staff came out from the ground, and from the hole that the staff made, started gushing out water. A lot of water, and then
I did not expect that.
And it flooded the whole area, becoming the lake, and the staff was actually a form of that dragon.
Okay.
Yes. So then it's said that the dragon is residing in this lake, like our very own Malaysian Loch Ness monster. People claims that they're sighting, but no one sees it, kind of thing.
And in the end, the Fork and Tomatoes became very popular because people from all over the world subscribed to their videos. And they liked every video too. And you know what else? They shared all their happy and lovely thoughts in the comments. And they clicked on the bell so they wouldn't miss a thing and get notified every time a new video was released. So in the end, the Fork and Tomatoes lived happily ever after. The end.